If you want to create viral content, you need top tier gear. No questions. Look at this camera. 4K, professional lens. Quality is everything. Hold on. You don't need all that fancy gear. Just use this. It's a smartphone. It's portable, easily accessible. Go viral with what you got. Gear is everything. You'll get the highest production value and people will take you seriously. No, it's not all about the gear. It's about the story you're telling and the content that you're putting out. I've seen viral videos shot on a phone.
When you're creating content, one of the first things you ask yourself is, what gear do I need to make epic videos? There's so much out there. Fancy cameras, microphones, lighting, editing software. It could just all be so overwhelming. Let's start by considering both sides. On one hand, you have people to say you need the top of the line equipment for quality. And on the other hand, you have those who swear by using what you have. Your phone, maybe a budget mic, and some good lighting. Now let's dig into the pros and cons of each. First up, the high-end gear. A professional camera and top audio equipment can make your content look and sound amazing. It's hard to turn down high-quality sound and beautiful images. When using a high-end camera, the framing is deliberate and precise. Every shot is thoughtfully composed to help tell the story. The lighting is crafted to sculpt the scene and help evoke the mood. However, this level of production requires meticulous planning and significant resources. A larger budget ensures the time needed to perfect each element, from the careful arrangement of each frame to the intricate lighting setup that enhances every detail of the scene. Plus, with all the gear, you're likely going to need a crew. Someone for lighting, someone for audio, someone for camera operation, each person specializing in one area of filmmaking. Having a team means you can focus on your strengths, and the results is a much higher end product. You get smoother shots, better audio, and overall more polished content. But here's the catch to filming with high-end gear. It's expensive, and it requires more setup time. On the flip side, using a smartphone or budget gear is way more accessible. You can shoot anywhere, anytime, and it's way more affordable. Plus, editing apps and accessories have come a long way. So let's take TikTok for instance. Tons of viral videos were made on their phones with little to no extra equipment, just raw content with great energy. It's all about creativity and timing. Using your phone can streamline the process. You don't have to spend time setting up all the expensive gear or worry about the big budget cost that comes with hiring a crew. This gives you more freedom to experiment, try new styles, and explore different topics quickly. You could post more often and test out what works without being bogged down by the burdens of a bigger budget project. That means you could go from an idea to a post in no time. And that's super valuable when you're trying to stay relevant and keep your content fresh. But you might lose out on some visual clarity and your background audio might not be the best. If your lighting is bad and the audio is poor, it could hurt the overall viewer experience. So what's the solution? The truth is, there's no one size fits all. It's all about knowing what resources you have and working with them. The key is to be strategic based on your budget, your skills, and your content goals. But here's some food for thought. We all know social media is an incredible, powerful tool for building your brand. But honestly, we're in competition with the platform itself. They benefit from our content keeping users on their site. But for us to truly benefit, our content has to be good enough to make the user leave their platform and visit our landing page or website. So ask yourself this: how does your onboarding video look when someone clicks on that link to explore your website or to make a purchase? Are you conveying your company's values in a professional way, especially if you're doing it with a camera phone? If that's the case, are you comfortable with how your audience will perceive that? Whenever I'm asked to create a brand video, my first stop is always the company's website. I want to get a feel for the quality of their existing content. Based on that, I can tell how much they've invested and the level of professionalism that they're looking for. So, if your website looks polished and well thought out, your video should reflect that same level of quality. The key here is content alignment. A high quality, thoughtfully produced video on your landing page reinforces your brand's credibility and shows your audience that you take your business very seriously. If your content doesn't match the professionalism on your website, it could create a disconnect and hurt your chances in converting those visitors into customers. So with all that in mind, how do you ensure the gear that you're using for your content is in alignment with your brand goals? Before we finish today's video, I want to take a moment to tell you about something that could really level up your marketing game. It's my workbook called The Lack of Planning That's Holding Back Your Video Marketing Success. If you ever felt like your video marketing efforts are falling short or you're not seeing the results that you want, this workbook can help you plan and strategize effectively. It's packed with actionable tips, strategies, and exercises to ensure that you're putting out content that resonates with your audience and drives results. If you're ready to stop guessing and start seeing success in your video marketing, I'll leave a link to the workbook in the description below. And trust me, this could be the game changer that you've been looking for. Well, let's break it down into actionable steps. Step 1, assess your budget and your needs. First, figure out what you can afford and what you actually need. If you're just starting out, the chances are you don't need to spend $1,000 on fresh new gear. Start with your phone and a tripod. If you're already building a brand, invest in a decent camera or some good audio equipment. Step 2, make the most out of what you have. Even with limited gear, you still can make amazing content. Get creative with lighting. Use lamps or natural light, and consider investing in affordable add-ons like a clip-on mic or a ring light. But let's take this a step further and get really strategic. Write everything down. I'm talking about listing out your resources on paper, whether it's the gear that you already have or the people available to help you out. It's all about optimizing what you already have. First, start with your gear. Do you have multiple smartphones? If so, maybe you could set up multiple angles or shoot multiple scenes at once. Next, think about your location. Do you have a spot that's visually appealing and accessible all the time? Maybe it's your living room, a cozy corner, or even your backyard. Being able to quickly film without worrying about a location is a huge advantage. Now, let's take a step back and assess your time. Are you working with 1 to 2 hours a day to create? When are you most productive? Morning, afternoon, night? Mapping out your time helps you stay efficient and realistic about your content production. And don't forget people. Do you have anyone to help you? Maybe you have a production assistant, a friend who could step in as a cameraman, or even someone that can help with behind the scenes footage. Make a list of everyone possible who you think may be able to help you, and also how you will be able to benefit them as well. Maybe they're learning valuable skills, building their portfolio, or even getting a shout out in your content. Collaboration makes everything easier and more efficient. By really taking the time to plan out what you have, who can help, and how you'll structure your time, you're setting yourself up for success, even if you're working with minimal gear. The key is to be smart about your resources, so you can focus more on the content and less on the logistics. Step 3, focus on story and value. Remember, gear is just one piece of the puzzle. The most important thing is your content. Do you have a unique perspective? Are you telling a story that people want to watch? Because that's really the key to going viral. Step 4, upgrade as you go. It's simple. As your brand grows, your gear grows. Start with simple tools and invest in better tools when it makes sense for your content creation. But hey, if all this feels overwhelming already, trust me, I get it. It might be time to consider reaching out to a video production company. They can handle all this heavy lifting, bringing in the expertise, professional equipment, and the know-how to take your content to the next level. In the end, gear is important, but it's not the only thing that determines if your content's gonna go viral. Start with what you have, be creative, and focus on telling a compelling story. And over time, you can upgrade your gear as needed. But here's something important to consider. If your goal is to convert traffic into paying customers, you'll likely need more quality-driven content that enhances the customer's experience. Think about your onboarding videos, your product demos, and even your brand stories. These videos should reflect the same level of professionalism and quality of your website and landing pages. That's what helps you build trust and move people down the sales funnel. So what do you think? What gear have you been using for your content? And do you think it's been enough to get you the results that you want? Let me know in the comments.